Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name's Rob, and welcome back to the Tuesday Checklist, the weekly show where we ditch the scripts and have a nice old chat about games for a bit. So the amazing Days of Play sale kicks off on the 8th of June, and with it, a competition to win the limited edition Days of Play PS4 and loads more amazing goodies. All you have to do to be entered into the draw is earn a trophy, any trophy, every day for the duration of the sale. Check the link in the description for full details. Anyway, with trophies in mind, we got talking this week about trophies we're really proud of. Nathan is up first with this corker from Dishonored 2.
So the trophy I'm going to talk about today is a trophy that made me feel not good at games, but clever, which is very important to my self-esteem. It was in Dishonored 2. By the time I got to this point in the game, I understood that there was always like a different way of doing stuff. And that the game would almost, if I with my brain could be like, oh, I wonder if I could do that. Like the game and the clever people who made it had already gone like, you can do that, but also this, and wouldn't this be interesting? And come on, catch up, Nathan, effectively. And so basically there's a level, they showed off this level at E3 actually, and it's in the Dust District. And you get there and you have to get to a mansion beyond it. So there's like this lock, and it's like this impossible lock. They sort of mention it, but then they're like, but really concentrate on the fact that there are two factions inside the Dust District. Both of them could give you the answer to get through this lock. But if you wanted to get into, one of them's the Howlers, and they're like this gang that sort of uses supernatural powers, and the other one are the Overseers, and you've met them in Dishonored 1, and they're horrible, and they're like this ultra-orthodox religious faction, and they hate magic. So if you sneak into one of them, grab the leader, maybe kill him, maybe just knock him out, bring him to the leader of the other faction, you can be rewarded. But siding with either one is like, oh, like these are bad guys, right? I'm making moral choices. So I was like, I don't like either of these guys. Plus, like, you hear that Paolo, the leader of the Howlers, can survive death. And I was like, I'm not learning about why he can do that.
Wait a minute. I mean, what is death if it's survivable?
Inconvenient, right?
He's asleep.
Yeah, you've inconvenienced me.
He can sleep. That's what he's told everybody he can survive death.
And it was a lot like, in a kind of a, nerd way, that bit in Indiana Jones where that guy's like, hey, sword, 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 and he just shoots him. But the act of just shooting him was, I just went up to the lock and I was like, surely this game by this point is just going to let me just open this door by just figuring it out. And there's two guys who are like talking about the lock, and there's like this little like mailbox next to it, and you can get out, it's called the Jindosh lock, and you can get out the Jindosh riddle. So the lock itself is 5 names, on a rotating dial, so the 5 names can be in any position, and then underneath them is an item. So it's like, I just got to line up the 5 names and find an item beneath them. And the the riddle itself, just 2 paragraphs of text, is randomized, so all the things swap places, and so you can't look it up on the internet. So it's like a real puzzle. It's like a pretty cool thing. And I was like, as I was understanding how hard it was, I was like, this is fine, I'm definitely gonna do this. This is all right. And I ended up, I was scrawling notes, I was like ending up making tables. I think I went through about 5 sheets of A4. And you have to do it by like, who's sitting next to who's got what drink, what color are they wearing, where are they from, and what heirloom do they have. And you can the tricky thing is that there aren't just positive associations, this person is next to that person, there are also negative associations, like this person was not wearing that colour. And you're like, how do I mark that on a table of things which are associated with each other? But in the end, I did do it. There's one line which is quite ambiguous, so I by the end I was like, there was like 1 or 2 gaps in this like spreadsheet that I'd made, and I was just like, I'll just try all of these options. And that made me feel very slightly less clever. But basically, I did it, and I skipped the entire level. And you get a trophy called Eureka for finding out the answer to the Jindosh riddle without going through the level. So there's an entire level of Dishonored 2, which I have not played.
Okay, so a trophy I am proud of. I'm not proud of the acts that I had to do. I'm proud of my resilience in ploughing through these acts, because it's from Heavy Rain. And if in 2018 you still haven't played Heavy Rain, I'm about to spoil all of it. But I have the Platinum Trophy in Heavy Rain. So I've seen all the endings, I've done every single possible thing you can do. One of the trophies to get the Platinum is called Perfect Crime. And to unlock the Perfect Crime trophy, you have to allow the origami killer to get away with it, basically. With murder, yes. And there are a number of things you have to do to make sure the origami killer gets away with it. I'm going to spoil it now. It's Scott. And the first thing you have to do, I don't know if you remember this, but quite early on in the game, one of the first times you control Scott, he's in a shop, like a little convenience store. Yeah. And the owner of the shop is the parent of one of the origami killer victims. A shoplifter comes into the store and holds up Hassan, the shopkeeper. If you want the perfect crime trophy, you have to sit in the back of the store, do nothing, and let Hassan, the shop owner, get killed. So that's the first thing you got to do. I was just proudly.
I love that you guys sit in the back of the shop.
Yep, just ignore that. And then the worst thing you've got to do, for me, the worst thing was you don't have to kill the children. He does that anyway. He's already done it. The worst thing is through the course of the game, Scott forms like there's a little blossoming sort of romance between Scott and Lauren. There's a scene where Lauren is in your car with Scott and you drive into a lake or a river. There's the option to save Lauren. Obviously you're going to save Lauren. Who wouldn't save Lauren? No. But to get the perfect crime, you just have to swim out of that car and let her just drown, which you can do. So you're there just swimming away and Lauren's just in the car and dies.
What?
So you just leave her in there.
Oh my God.
And then you have to let the man, the bad man, at the end of that sequence die, which I think you do anyway. You can do that anyway. Right. But a cruel thing to do is take his pills. I think he's suffering, he has like an angina attack or something and his pills are there and you just, I'll take those.
That's really got
and you just walk out. It's just a nice little mean thing. Yeah. But then you also, you don't have to do, it's not just doing the actions with Scott, you also have to make Ethan fail. Then the other bad thing is Madison. She's also the one on the trail of the origami killer. Yeah. She finds out who it is. Madison has to die at some point, preferably in that room. Yeah. Just let Madison die. She never finds out. But basically, when it gets to the end, no one can know that Scott is the killer. He has to have perfectly covered his tracks. Lauren has to be dead. Hassan, the shopkeeper, has to be dead. Manfred has to be dead. And all of the evidence that Scott was in that room has to be perfectly removed. And neither Norman nor Ethan can survive the ending. And I think you just get this horrible little cutscene at the end where he evilly walks off and it's raining and he's just like, I've got away with it. And he walks off down the street and you just get a little gold trophy. Perfect crime. Yeah. And there was a little feeling of pride that I had managed to, do all these awful things. Because I know you've talked about it a lot, Steve. You get quite emotionally invested in the decisions you make in Heavy Rain. Yeah. And by that stage, obviously, I'd already finished the game. I was going back and unlocking all the different options to get the platinum. So knowing I was playing as the killer and doing all of these awful things.
It was a role play.
I was proud of my resilience.
You played it as a role playing game that time, and then play as a murderer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I do in many games.
Whether there's a trophy or not.
Yes.
So I don't really consider myself like a trophy hunter as such.
Good man.
I don't really go after them. But what I do really like is when developers put in like clever trophies that kind of make you see the game in a different way or make you think of something you wouldn't have normally have done. And a great example of it is in Lego Lord of the Rings. There's a trophy called Wonders Not Simply.
Nice.
And all you have to do is turn around and walk into Mordor. And the trophy just pings up.
That's amazing.
Things like that make me laugh. But the one I want to talk about today is from Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Okay.
A trophy that I spent far too long on. And it is in Constantinople, there's the Hagia Sophia, which is like a big temple right in the middle of town. And you have to climb up it in 25 seconds to get the trophy. And it's not part of a mission, so there's no timer that comes up when you're doing it. You just have to kind of count in your head and see how close you are to doing it. It took me so long to do this. So first of all, I saw it and I thought, I'm just going to try it. And you get to the top and you sort of pause right at the top and the trophy doesn't ping. So you think, well, clearly that wasn't fast enough. I'll go down and start again. So now I'll count the seconds as I run up it. Still no ping, but I thought I'd done it in less than 25 seconds, so maybe I'm counting too fast. So I'm going to throw in some Mississippis now. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. No, it's still not pinging. And then I've got like the I got my hands with the controller, I got my timer on my phone, I'm trying to start the timer with my elbow as I'm starting to run up it from the ground level. I can't do it quite right, can't get the timing right. Got someone coming in to count for me. I just can't seem to do this. And so yeah, I'm sort of close to it, I'm 25, 26 seconds thereabouts, and I thought maybe it just needs to be 24 seconds or something. I spent so long doing it, probably like a full evening. And in the end I had to look online as to why I couldn't do it properly, or if there was like a certain route I should have been taking, and it was just the wrong building. I was on the wrong side of town.
That's amazing.
Really sad about it. But then I went over to the proper Hagia Sophia and ran up it in maybe 20 seconds.
Yes, you must have been
Got the trophy.
so good at running up buildings by that point.
That one particular building I was, yeah. Yeah, faster than any assassin had ever done it before.
Wow, but you got it.
I did get it, not how I wanted to do it.
If they ever go back to Constantinople, there should be a Dan Wheeler trophy for climbing that building in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can do it.
I agree.
One of the rarest trophies in Shadow of Mordor is again like it's like a timed one without a timer, and you have to ride a Caragor and free 30 human slaves in 180 seconds. You should maybe play that down. Maybe that.
No.
You might be surprised to hear that I'm not so much of a trophy guy, although no one seems to believe me. I notice when Dan says he's not really into trophies, everyone's like, yes, Dan, very interesting. Whereas if I say it, everyone's like, shut up, you just don't have any, you idiot. But I'm not much of a trophy guy. I don't have any problem with them, it's just not how I play games. I tend to just like play a game, and then at the end, if I get to the end, I look in the bag and I see what trophies I got. And it doesn't help because I play at home, because I sometimes capture gameplay, I play with all my notifications off, so I don't even see a trophy ping anymore. So it really is literally at the end, I go, oh, did I get any trophies? That's nice. Which ones did I get? So thinking about trophies that were hard, or that I was proud of, was difficult, because that's not really how I play the games. First one I thought of was Outlast, finishing Outlast. I was proud of that. I bet there's a trophy for that. But I don't have it, because we must have played it on someone else's account. So well done. That was one of my proudest achievements. I have 0 trophies in Outlast.
You still unlocked it.
I still unlocked it. I'm pretty sure we've got,
proud of it.
footage of that. So I was trawling through my trophy list, and I found one that I'm proud of. And it's not, you all had very interesting stories, and the trophies were quite specific. My trophy isn't very exciting, but I'm proud of it. And it's for completing Deus Ex Mankind Divided, the most recent Deus Ex, it's called Pacifist, and it's for completing it without killing a single soul, including the bosses, which I am proud of.
Good, I didn't even know you'd finished that game.
I think I tweeted it because I was so proud of myself. So I didn't kill a single soul, and I guess I have to admit at this point, well, first of all, as you know, I wasn't going for this trophy. I wasn't even sure there was a trophy for that. I wanted to finish the game, but I didn't know that not killing anybody was a trophy. That wasn't my intention, but at the same time, I guess it was. You know, I didn't think, I was trying to do it non-lethally, but I wasn't really keeping track. And it worked, and I think it's amazing that they kind of put in the ability for you to complete the game without killing anybody, including bosses, I guess is what I'm saying.
You just switch them off. What happens to the boss?
No, you can talk. There's boss fights. There's just different ways of doing it. You can use different weapons that kind of disarm them or stun them or something. To be honest, I can only really remember the final boss battle, and I just remember zapping him a lot rather than shooting him a lot. But I must admit, I don't think it's difficult to do the game non-lethally, apart from there's something just a little bit more fun about being lethal. And I guess there is a difficulty when you stun people, they can wake up and stuff, so that does add a little extra layer of difficulty. But the reason I'm actually most proud of it is really boring, but it's my thing anyway, is that I looked and I saw that I got the first trophy that I got was on the 13th of September, and I finally completed the game in February, the 22nd of February, and I am proud of myself for sticking with that game and finishing it, because I know that I had a big break in between, like the start and finish, where I just didn't play it, and it's such a good game, it reeled me back in. And I'm not, it's funny because I have referred to myself as a completionist, but I'm someone with very few completed games. I think I get overwhelmed by the amount there is to do and stuff. So I am proud of myself for that trophy, for finishing Deus Ex Mankind Divided. And it's just a little icing on the cake, that it was, you know, for not also non-lethally, because I actually got 2 trophies for that. So look at me, I'm great, I'm the best.
This is something which I've deliberately chosen to annoy Rob, is the real meaning of Dishonored 2, that I can skip it and that's more of a game, isn't it, in a way? Don't you think?
No, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Why would that annoy me?
Just because
you sound annoyed.
Why would that annoy me?
Genuinely, I'm not even the slightest bit annoyed. I don't know what you're talking about. Let us know in the comments what trophies you're most proud of. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and join us again in 2 weeks. Next week we're at E3, woo, for another Tuesday checklist. Thanks for watching.